You're probably wondering, is this week's forecast to the heat wave that we're getting right now considered climate change, or are the impacts of climate change heating us up? Well, consider weather day-to-day kind of changes. The weather can change dramatically even within a day, while the climate trends that we're talking about are long-term trends over decades or even centuries. So think of it like the weather is your mood. Your mood can change within a second or a minute sometimes. So we're hot this week. This is typical heat, but if we see this piling up over the decades, that would be considered climate, which is more like your personality. Your personality doesn't necessarily change from minute to minute. So our summers, yes, are getting hotter, and we could see more heat waves like this more often. But right now, the heat that we're in this week is pretty typical for this time of year. So what did we end up seeing today? Rockford fell just short of 90 degrees, but still the hottest day of the year so far. Everywhere else seemed to get into the low 90s for highs, and that is, of course, up until that rain decided to fall. A very spotty rain, so this is a good demonstration of what I consider or call isolated showers and storms. You can see certain areas did get rain, and then virtually nothing outside of the western half of our viewing area west of I-39. Spots that did pick up some rainfall this afternoon, not a ton to be a drought buster here as we're trending in that direction, but still half an inch to 3/4 of an inch for most spots. Certain areas got up to 2 inches in little pockets, but that could have been contaminated by a little small hail activity also sprinkled in too. And we may see this repeat itself into tomorrow. So for tonight, down to 63 under a partly cloudy sky as the weather stays dry like we're seeing right now. Throughout the course of the day, temperatures heating up very rapidly through the morning. We're already back into the mid-80s by noon, topping out near 90 degrees, and we'll see how fast we cool off into the evening hours depending on just how much rain we pick up. And like today, widely isolated. A lot of spots are going to end up staying dry, but future check shows at about 1 in the afternoon, those very hit or miss showers and storms bubbling up, they'll continue until the late afternoon hours, and then they fizzle out after 5 like we saw as of today. Really not picking up much for rainfall in total. So we'll see that again tomorrow afternoon. By Friday, thinking we'll probably have a pretty dry forecast, and the weather continues to stay dry into the weekend. We'll see a lot of sunshine and temperatures near 90 before we cool off next week. In your most accurate 10-day forecast, the weather does dance back and forth between the upper to middle 80s and the low 80s, so we'll definitely see some more comfortable summer weather, but we're not necessarily getting rid of that summer heat as we trend deeper into June. In the 4-degree guarantee, rounded out this month right on the bullseye. That means cash totals at $273 as we continue our journey to get up to $300 by the end of the week.